Let go of today's heavy heart, and fall asleep in the peace of God's Word. Hello, dear friends. What a long day it's been, hasn't it? I know you've been carrying so much today. Maybe juggling work deadlines, family responsibilities, or just trying to keep up with life's endless demands. But right now, in this moment, you can finally rest. Take a gentle breath with me. Breathe in peace. Breathe out any tension from today. You've found your way here tonight, and I'm so grateful you did. Whether you're lying in bed, sitting in your favorite chair, or maybe even taking a late-night drive home, you're exactly where you need to be. There's something beautiful about the nighttime, isn't there? When the world finally quiets down. When the notifications stop buzzing. When we can just be still. Let your shoulders relax. Maybe today felt overwhelming. Maybe you're worried about tomorrow's meeting, that difficult conversation you need to have, or bills that need paying. Perhaps you've been carrying the weight of caring for aging parents, or watching your children struggle with challenges you can't fix for them. Maybe it's the endless cycle of work deadlines that never seem to end, or relationships that feel strained and complicated. Or perhaps it's something deeper, that quiet ache of loneliness even when you're surrounded by people. The fear that you're not living up to expectations, or the exhaustion that comes from trying to be strong for everyone else. That's okay. Bring all of that here with you tonight. God's Word isn't just for Sunday mornings or perfect moments. It's for nights like these. When we're tired, when we're uncertain, when we just need to hear that everything's going to be all right. Tonight, I want to share some of the most comforting words ever spoken. Words about peace, about rest, about being deeply, completely loved. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Let's create a sacred space together. Right here, right now. Just you, me, and the gentle voice of our Creator who knows exactly what your heart needs to hear tonight. Are you ready? Let's begin this journey toward peace. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. Jesus spoke these words to people just like us. People who worked long hours, who worried about their families, who felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on their shoulders. The word weary here doesn't just mean physically tired. It means soul tired, heart tired. That deep exhaustion that sleep alone can't fix. You know that feeling, don't you? When you wake up in the morning already feeling behind. When you smile and say, "I'm fine," but inside you're wondering how long you can keep going. When you lie awake at night replaying conversations, worrying about decisions, carrying burdens that feel too heavy. Maybe that's you tonight. Maybe you've been the strong one for so long that you've forgotten it's okay to need help. Maybe you've been pushing through one more day, one more challenge, one more crisis, telling yourself you'll rest when everything is finally under control. But here's what Jesus knew: everything will never be under control. Life will always have its uncertainties, its demands, its unexpected turns. Jesus sees you. He sees that tiredness behind your eyes, even when you smile. He knows about the burden you carry that no one else can see. He sees the mother who hasn't had a moment to herself in months. The employee who's been carrying extra responsibilities without recognition. The friend who listens to everyone else's problems but has nowhere to share their own. The person who takes care of everyone but struggles to ask for help. And what does he say? Come to me. Not, figure it out first. Not, get your life together and then come. Not, pray harder and maybe I'll help. Just come. Come with your messy kitchen and your unpaid bills. Come with your difficult teenagers and your aging body. Come with your dreams that haven't come true and your relationships that aren't perfect. Come with your doubts, your fears, your imperfect faith. Come tired. Come confused. Come exactly as you are, right now, in this moment. Pause and breathe. Imagine, just for a moment, what it would feel like to set down everything you're carrying. Just for tonight. Just for this moment. That project deadline that's been keeping you up at night. That relationship that's struggling and you don't know how to fix it. That decision you can't seem to make because every option feels overwhelming. That medical appointment you've been dreading. That financial pressure that follows you everywhere. What if you could hand it all over, just for a few hours, and simply rest? I know it sounds almost too simple, maybe even impossible. We're so used to carrying everything ourselves, aren't we? We tell ourselves we have to be responsible. We have to keep it all together. We have to be the one everyone can count on. But Jesus' invitation isn't just about physical rest, though your body needs that too. It's about soul rest. Heart rest. The kind of deep peace that comes from knowing you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Do not be anxious about anything. I know. Easier said than done, right? If only our hearts got that memo. If anxiety could just be turned off like a light switch, we'd all be living much more peaceful lives. But here's what I love about this verse. Paul doesn't say, stop being human, or never feel worried. He acknowledges that we live in a world that gives us plenty to be anxious about. He was writing this from prison, after all he knew about uncertainty, about having no control over his circumstances. Instead, he gives us something to do with our anxiety. A way to transform worry into connection, fear into conversation with God. Present your requests to God. In plain English, tell Him what's on your mind. And here's something beautiful: God already knows what you're worried about. He knows about your finances before you check your bank account. He knows about your health before you get the test results. He knows about your relationships, your kids, your job, your future. But He still wants you to talk to Him about it. Not because He needs the information, but because you need the connection. Think about it: when you're worried about something, what helps? Talking to someone who cares, right? Someone who listens without judgment. Someone who doesn't try to fix everything but just understands. That's what God offers. A listening ear. A caring heart. Someone who never gets tired of hearing from you. Never rolls his eyes at your concerns. Never thinks your worries are too small or too big. Right now, in the quiet of your heart, what would you like to say to God? What burden would you like to share? It might be something big that everyone knows about. God, I'm scared about this diagnosis. I don't know what's coming next, and I'm trying to be brave for my family, but I'm terrified. Or something that feels smaller but still weighs on you. I'm worried I said the wrong thing to my friend today. I keep replaying that conversation and wondering if I hurt her feelings. Maybe it's about your children. Help me know how to guide them. I feel like I'm making it up as I go along, and what if I mess this up? Or your career? I don't know if I'm in the right job, but I'm scared to make a change. What if I make the wrong choice? Or your future? I'm getting older and I don't know what's ahead. I'm afraid of being alone, of being a burden, of not mattering. The promise here is incredible: God's peace will guard your heart and mind. Like a gentle security system for your soul, protecting you from the anxiety that wants to steal your rest. This isn't a promise that all your problems will disappear. Paul was still in prison when he wrote these words. But he had found something that circumstances couldn't touch: a peace that transcends understanding. The kind of peace that lets you sleep even when you don't have all the answers. The kind of peace that lets you wake up tomorrow not with dread, but with quiet confidence that you're not facing anything alone. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. Peace I leave with you. These were some of Jesus' last words to his disciples before he was crucified. He knew what was coming: the fear, the confusion, the sense that everything was falling apart. And in that moment, what did he choose to give them? Peace. Not the kind of peace the world offers, the temporary peace that comes when everything is going well. When your bank account is healthy, when your relationships are smooth, when your health is good. The world's peace is fragile, isn't it? It depends on circumstances staying favorable, on other people behaving the way we hope they will, on life going according to our plans. But Jesus offers a different kind of peace. A peace that doesn't depend on your situation being perfect. A peace that can coexist with uncertainty, with difficulty, even with heartbreak. This is the peace that lets you sleep when you don't know what tomorrow will bring. The peace that lets you be okay even when everything isn't okay. The peace that runs deeper than your circumstances, steadier than your emotions, more reliable than your own strength. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. Easy to say, harder to live, right? But notice Jesus doesn't say you won't face trouble or that there's nothing to be afraid of. He says don't let your heart be consumed by trouble. Don't let fear be the loudest voice in your head. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. This is from Psalm chapter 4. And it's specifically about sleep, about that transition from the activity of day to the rest of night. In peace I will lie down and sleep. David wrote this psalm during a time of great distress. His enemies were pursuing him, people were spreading lies about him, his future was uncertain. Yet he could say, "In peace I will lie down and sleep." How? Because he had learned to distinguish between what he could control and what he couldn't. He had learned that his safety didn't depend on having all the answers or fixing all the problems. His safety came from trusting in the one who never sleeps, who is always watching, always caring, always present. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Not my savings account, though financial security is important. Not my health, though taking care of our bodies matters. Not my relationships, though they bring joy and support. Not my job, though meaningful work is a gift. All of these things can change. All of them are, to some degree, beyond our complete control. But the Lord's care for you, His love for you, His commitment to your ultimate good, these never change, never fail, never depend on your performance. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, you can rest in this safety, not the false safety that pretends nothing bad ever happens, but the true safety that knows no matter what happens, you are held by love itself. Take a moment to settle even deeper. We've heard these beautiful promises tonight. Words of rest, words of peace, words of divine care, words of safety in the midst of uncertainty. But how do we take these from our heads to our hearts? How do we let them change how we feel, not just what we know. Sometimes we can know something is true intellectually but still feel anxious, still feel alone, still feel overwhelmed. That's normal, that's human. The journey from head to heart takes time, takes practice, takes patience with ourselves. First, let's acknowledge what is true right now, in this moment. You are safe. Right now, in this space, you are safe. Your body can relax. Your guard can come down. You don't have to be on right now. You are not alone. Even if your room is empty, even if you feel isolated in your struggles, even if no one else understands exactly what you're going through, God's presence is with you. Closer than your breath, more constant than your heartbeat. You are loved, not because of what you accomplished today, not because you were perfect, not because you earned it or deserve it. You are loved simply because you exist, because you are God's beloved creation, because He delights in you. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. God isn't disappointed in you tonight. He's not keeping a scorecard of your failures. He's not comparing you to other people. He's not waiting for you to get your act together before He shows up. He sees the effort you put in today, even if it didn't feel like enough. He sees the love you gave, even if it wasn't perfectly expressed. He sees the strength you showed, even if you felt weak. He sees the progress you made, even if it was just getting through another day. You are seen, you are known, and you are treasured. Now, I want you to imagine Jesus sitting with you right now. Not in some formal, religious way, but like a good friend who has all the time in the world. Imagine Him there in the soft shadows of your room, perhaps by your bedside. His presence as gentle as the night breeze, as constant as the stars outside. He's not checking His watch, not thinking about somewhere else He needs to be. He's completely present with you, completely focused on you, completely available to whatever you need to share. What would you want to tell Him about your day? About your worries? About your hopes? Maybe you'd tell Him about the moment today when you felt overwhelmed in the grocery store, trying to remember everything on your list while your mind was somewhere else entirely. Maybe you'd share about the conversation with your teenager that didn't go the way you hoped, or the way your aging parent seemed a little more confused than last week. Maybe you'd talk about work, the project that's not going well, the coworker who's been difficult, the decision you have to make that feels bigger than you are. Or maybe it's deeper than daily details. Maybe you'd tell Him about feeling stuck, about wondering if you're making a difference, about being tired of being strong all the time. Take time in the silence to have that conversation. Maybe words aren't coming easily tonight. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes the most honest prayer is just showing up, just being present, just letting Him sit with you in whatever you're feeling. Sometimes the deepest communion happens not in eloquent prayers but in quiet presence. Not in having all the right words but in simply being real about where you are right now. God doesn't need your performance tonight. He doesn't need your polished thoughts or your spiritual-sounding words. He just needs your presence, your honesty, your willingness to let Him love you right here, right now, exactly as you are. As we prepare to close our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. Tomorrow will have its own challenges. There will be emails to answer, decisions to make, people to care for. There will be traffic and deadlines and conversations that require patience you're not sure you have. But tonight is for rest. Tonight is for letting your soul catch up with your body. Tonight is for trusting that the same God who painted every sunset and knows every star by name is taking care of you too. The same God who causes flowers to bloom without striving, who guides birds in their migrations without GPS. Who keeps planets in their orbits without effort. This same God is mindful of you, caring for you, working on your behalf even while you sleep. You don't have to figure everything out before you fall asleep. You don't have to solve every problem or worry through every scenario. You don't have to have next week planned or next year figured out. You can simply rest in the promise that you are held, you are known, and you are deeply, deeply loved. Rest in the promise that the one who never sleeps is watching over you tonight. Rest in the promise that His love for you doesn't depend on your productivity tomorrow. Rest in the promise that you matter not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Friends, what a gift it's been to share this time with you tonight. As you prepare to drift off to sleep, I want to leave you with one final thought. You did enough today. You are enough today. And tomorrow, God's mercies will be new again. Take one last, deep breath. May you sleep with the peace that comes from knowing you're not carrying your burdens alone. May you dream with the hope that comes from being a beloved child of God. And may you wake refreshed, knowing that the same loving presence that's with you now will be with you when morning comes. Rest easy, dear friend. The God who never sleeps is watching over you tonight. You can let go. You can rest. Thank you for spending this sacred time together. May our channel continue to be a place where you can find rest for your soul, night after night. Sweet dreams, and God bless you.